We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. News Channel 5 legal analyst Nick Leonardo here with us, taking your phone calls as we discuss the phone calls from the jail. Accused shooter, we're talking about Emmanuel Sampson in the Antioch church shooting. And again, during the break, we were just talking about how you're firmly in the belief that there's really almost no defense for him.
Well,
I mean,
you know,
they'll mount something, but
as a lawyer, you learn early on that you don't say that there's nothing you can do. I mean, they'll come up with something, but these phone calls don't help, especially when you're trying to go at, you know, it's got to be a mental health issue. I mean, either that or you've got to find out that, you know, that pastor tortured, you know, Sampson's son 2 years ago. You know, I mean, there's going to have to be some sort of something there, because right now there's just too many witnesses out there to really have much of a defense at all.
I gotcha. You know, someone else just sent that Lynn says on Facebook, the jail does give them tablets, and as a matter of fact, I did a story on that. All the inmates get tablets now, and I believe some of those tablets, in addition to allowing them limited access to the internet, and that's monitored, by the way, it allows them to play music, they may be able to make some phone calls through these tablets, and I'm not certain about that. I was there and saw them, but it is much easier to make calls from jails than ever before these days.
Oh, sure.
And again, everything is monitored, folks, and you're not paying for it.
That's right. That's right.
You're not paying for it, and it's monitored. So just remember, this is not like some fringe benefit, these phone calls. They're paying for it, so someone's making money off these inmates as well.
And it's just like your children. It's one more thing to take away when you don't behave. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's see. Let's go next to Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Morning, Nick.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, I think he probably was on some steroids, but I got to tell you, that usually doesn't put you into that. The only way you can tell by his body he was on steroids, because I know I did bodybuilding for years when I was in Glow, and I knew the ones that did the juice. And steroids are very expensive.
Yeah.
You can only stay on a cycle for 6 weeks out of an entire year. So, or otherwise you're pushing it and you're going to kill your liver and everything else. But the other thing I wanted to say, if you look at the white boy out in what was it, that one state where
Dylan Roof in South Carolina?
Yeah, he shot all them people up. Well, nobody gave him any mercy. Nobody did. And he deserved to be punished and probably even executed as a child. This guy attacked the church, this Emmanuel guy, whatever his name is, and he attacked the church. He deserves the death penalty, or he deserves, I don't even think we should waste our money putting him in prison, because he's not going to learn anything. The first thing that every criminal does is say that they're bipolar and this and that. And I tell you, I have a stepsister that I wouldn't even go near, because all she does is keep going into stores and stealing. But after she had to do her 4 or 5 years of repeat offenses over and over and over for over 10 years, she finally got hammered with it. And I mean, from county even to Rutherford County. So it turned out to be about 7 years in jail.
Yeah, you learn your lesson when you spend some time behind jail. Now, she makes a good point, and you touched on it during the break. Steroids, because why?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna, I mean, if I'm prosecuting this case and the defense is he was on steroids and he lost his mind, and steroids are, you know, will make you do things like this, and I would point to Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, he was a 7-time Mr. Olympian. Yeah. He's openly said that he's used steroids, and he was the governor of California. So, you know,
there's a lot of people that do steroids that don't commit murder.
They don't commit murders. That's exactly right.
That just doesn't wash.
I still think that there's more to this story. I don't know. I don't think it was random. I don't think it was arbitrary. I think, you know, maybe there was some connection between he and the decedent there, or the church and the pastor. I just can't imagine that this seems a little more to it than just random. I don't know. And maybe we'll find out as you go through your phone calls and find a translator. Maybe there's something else there. Yeah,
again, that's going toward motive. And again, motive really doesn't matter.
I mean, this is
a poor woman lost her life and 6 others were seriously injured. Doesn't matter, to me, doesn't matter why, short of self-defense, and that's not going to be the case here. Why it happened. If he did it, then he pays.
Well, motive doesn't matter. All the state's got to show is that it's an intentional, premeditated murder, which is is first-degree murder, and premeditation can be formed in an instance. Yeah. So I mean, you know, he puts the guns in the car. I mean, just getting the guns out of the vehicle is premeditation. I mean, that in and of itself. You know, I mean, so I mean, it's kind of a slam dunk. I'd be interested to see what the public defender's office comes up with.
It's gonna be interesting. All right, let's go next to Angela. Hi, Angela.
Hi.
Hey, go ahead, ma'am.
I have a comment, but a question that follows it. First of all, they do have tablets where he's at to where they don't have to be out in the public to use the phone. There's no loan lines or anything anymore.
Yeah.
And then my question is, because of the beginning of the phone calls, you said that there was like an argument or something between him and the girlfriend. With that being said, shouldn't there be some kind of charges against her if she's the one that actually had, by him getting upset and whatnot, has something to do with his anger and going out, killing that lady and injuring others at the church? Shouldn't she be connected to that? Because just like the officer went in to save that young lady in the Cumberland River, they actually had her to connected her to his death.
Yeah, no,
and they said that she was to blame for it. So if she contributed to his anger and she went out there, shouldn't there be some kind of charges against her?
Well, that's a great point, and she's done a good job of listening to that phone call. Exactly, that's what I had thought as well. I mean, what if she knew exactly what he was going to do? And if so that raises a whole other issue. He's loaded the car down with guns. He says his goodbyes, and maybe she knew that he was going to go kill somebody or to do some real heinous act. And if she did know something about that, then I mean, she could definitely be charged as well. And I am sure at this point that the police have talked to her. The investigators have spoken with her to see if there is any connection and what she knew and when she knew it.
I understand her point, and I hear what you're saying here, but based on me listening to this, I don't believe in any way, and she's been vetted, I don't think she knew. I don't think she knew. Now, and I don't think it's right to hold, if all of a sudden you and I end this show here with an argument over something and you leave and kill someone, I'm sorry, I'm not responsible for that. I'm sorry if I made you mad. People get mad in arguments all the time and don't go kill someone. So simply because if they had an argument, like couples sometimes do, and he flips out and does something crazy, that's not on her.
No.
Now, if she knew, if he said to her, you know what, I'm so mad, I'm going to go do this, and he was specific and told her, and she kept it to herself or assisted him, that's different. I don't see any evidence of that in these phone calls. I truly believe his girlfriend, while she seems oblivious to the nature of the charges, and I don't know what she's thinking went down there, but I don't think she had any idea. I don't think she had any idea what he was going to do, if indeed this is what he did.
And it's important to point out a lot of times in jail, what you have on these phone calls is people try to give folks in jail hope. Okay, and so they'll say, yeah, you're coming home, or yeah, you're going to beat these charges, and and even they don't believe that, but they're they don't want to be negative to somebody who's sitting in jail facing the being in jail the rest of their life. So maybe she is just saying that to somehow try to comfort him, but in the back of her mind, she knows he's never coming home.
You may be right. As we go to the break, there are some things I haven't been able to include in the stories. There's so much, but I mean, there's stuff where they're talking about, yeah, your pictures everywhere, baby. They pulled those off of your Facebook. And you look, I have more people coming up to me telling you what a handsome man you are, and you are so. And I'm like, what is missing here? You're talking about it's almost like they're reveling in some degree of the publicity they're getting out of this without recognizing how serious the charge is. And she's just talking about how, yeah, some of my friends are coming up and saying, what a handsome man he is. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? People. Scary stuff, man, when you catch them talking in moments when they don't know they're being recorded. Well, they knew they were being recorded, didn't know it would go public, but I mean, this girlfriend's not charged with anything, but clearly there's a screw loose up here for her too, if you ask me. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more of your phone calls in our final segment right after this.